5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good morning, Misfits. Alrighty. So, missed yesterday's show. Missed Friday's show. I had to go hunting on Friday. And it's just been really busy with work. So, we're going to be doing a little change up. Not to worry, nothing really different than what we have been doing, other than I just changed the name a little bit of the show. I don't know if you guys caught that on this episode, but it's now called The Breakdown. And if you go here, it's now just The Breakdown, and I took away the Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Friday. Here's the deal. I cannot manage this show and my real job. It's just not something I can do consistently. I can definitely do the show when I can do it, and I just can't when I can't. So instead of getting your hopes up, and it's been driving my OCD crazy because I feel like I'm saying I'm going to be somewhere and then not. So essentially, we're still going to shoot for the same schedule. But if I'm not here, I'm just not here. That's how it's going to work moving forward. It's just been bugging me that I keep on, I don't say like letting you down. This isn't even a big show. I do this for probably, my 20 or so people that actually want to watch it. And then, we get clips out of it. We do use the clips, but I haven't even had time to do that. I have been so busy. I have not even clipped the Dinesh D'Souza show from like 2 weeks ago. So, just everything's the same. I just changed the name so it's less misleading. And it wasn't even intentionally misleading in the first place. Anyway, OCD is now satisfied. Let's move on. So, if you have watched the show before, you know that we do Woke Wednesday, right? Right here, Woke Wednesday. And with Woke Wednesday, we essentially, we're taking two people that are, I would say, woke, right? And we're taking them from both sides. Today, we have the left is always woke, right? And Thomas Massie. I think Thomas Massie has ventured into woke territory. We're going to cover the Ilhan Omar liquid incident, if you haven't seen that. That's interesting. I was extremely exhausted last night. I think that happened last night. I'm not sure. But I think I saw it and I went, that's fake. And I think I went to bed. I'm pretty sure I went to bed. That was one of the last things that I looked at last night. I literally just looked at it and I went, that's fake. And then I woke up this morning and the entire internet was like, yeah, that's fake. That's staged. Thank you, Roadrunner, in the chat. Here's why. Now, look, for the same reasons everybody else thinks it's staged is what I think is staged. But I'll tell you what really gave it away, right? She ran right at that dude. She literally was like, ugh. So stupid. It was so stupid. It's like, dude, if I got sprayed with something, I wouldn't be like, yeah, give me more of that. I mean, maybe she's used to it from her brother. I don't know. But it did not look natural at all. It looked very off. And, it would make perfect sense for Ilhan Omar to be trying to create a distraction right now because she looks like she's fucked. She looks like she's in some serious trouble with the fraud thing. Now, I think this is an obvious question. This is when just asking questions actually makes sense, when you turn it into a fucking habitual personality trait, you become an annoying conspiracy theorist cunt like Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Owen Schroyer, etc. But every once in a while, right, you should be asking questions like, does anybody think that this whole all the shit happening in Minnesota is a distraction because they got caught in one of the biggest fraud schemes ever. Like the ICE protesters, this Ilhan Omar thing. It's like, does any, like, look, ICE is in the majority of all 50 states, right? They're doing these operations in the majority of all 50 states, right? Why is it only happening in Minnesota right after they were caught in a massive multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme? Cam Higby's been doing some amazing work. He kind of got into that Signal chat. The question that we've all been asking, that we all knew the answer to, was, are these all organized? Like, it's so weird how they all just show up at the same time. Cam Higby got into that. Let's make sure we write that down so we can go look it up. But Cam does great work, and the thing is, I like Cam. I've done a debate where Cam was my debate partner. Cam's great, right? Cam's an independent journalist. Other people, Cam adjacent people, not the biggest fans of. I mean, Nick Sorter it comes to mind. I've had him muted for a reason, right? Cam's also been hanging around with that Jake Lang guy. And like, we all know, I think that guy's a cunt. So I want to be able to make the distinction between somebody like Cam, who's an actual investigative journalist, who has integrity, who's doing the work, versus clickbait, clout chasing cunts. And it's so hard to tell the difference because the only thing that people care about is clout. It's all a clout game. It's all a clout game and a money game. And you know, no matter what you think of me, I don't care what you think of me. I think I've made that pretty clear. I think that it's very clear I'm not doing this for money. I literally work a full-time job. I can't do the show because I have other responsibilities. You can never accuse me of sitting here trying to make money off of this. I can definitely do it. I've been offered money. I turn it down. I like my job. I like my company. I'm not going to stop doing it until I'm completely broken, which is getting pretty close, by the way. My back is fucked. Anyway, all right, let's get on to the daily break. Or sorry, now the breakdown. We're gonna try to change the name because we're not doing it daily. It's been very clear that I have not been able to do it daily. But if you never watched the breakdown before, what I do is I go on the internet. I type in the word news, NEWS, right? Just the news. And this is what popped up today. The show links should be in the description. Haven't seen much to make me doubt Sorter, but he does hang in sensationalist circles. I won't say he's bad, but I'll stick with Higby. I think I'm neutral on Sorter, but I have him muted for a reason. He's wrong a lot, and he's definitely sensationalist. That doesn't mean that he's a bad guy. That doesn't mean that Nick Sorter is not actually trying to do good work. That doesn't mean that he's not putting himself in danger. That doesn't mean he's not doing some of the independent journalist things. It's just, I just get the ick when I see people who use, we'll get to it, right? Cam, or what, Sorter. Okay. And I saw him on Steven Crowder, and I think that Steven Crowder, it gives people benefit of the doubt way more than I do. But we'll get to him later. All right. So, top stories of the day when you type in the word news on the internet. Man shot in incident involving Border Patrol in Arizona. Oh, it does happen in other places. All right, let's take a look at this. Wonder if it was just an innocent person. Right? It was probably just some random bystander that was just minding their own business, and the evil ICE Gestapo pulled out their gun and just shot them, because that happens. Apparently it doesn't, but let's find out. I don't pre-read these guys. We're gonna go down this rabbit hole together. That's what the breakdown's all about. All right, a man who the FBI said has a criminal history of human smuggling was shot and wounded by a Border Patrol agent in Arizona after allegedly firing at agents. No way. So a human smuggler shot at cops. This is the headline. A human smuggler was shot after firing on officers. But the headline reads, "You don't hate the media enough." You really do not hate the media enough. Is man shot in incident involving Border Patrol. Now, I mean, in the smaller letters, he was fleeing during a human smuggling investigation and fired at a CPB helicopter. But this big, bold fucking headline, it's just there. It's just there to piss you off. All right, Schlegel, I think that's his name, Schlegel. Patrick Gary Schlegel, a 34-year-old Arizona resident, was shot around 7:30 a.m. Damn, starting that smuggling early, bruh. Early bird gets the hooker, I guess. About 10 miles north of the Mexico border. He was shot after a foot chase following a traffic stop related to an active alien smuggling matter. Early in the morning, the Border Patrol agents stopped the vehicle. Later, they recognized what they believed to be a vehicle, blah, blah, blah. Shots were fired from the suspect. Okay, so essentially, this story, Schlegel's in serious but stable condition. Okay, so essentially, this is what happens every day, right? This is what these Border Patrol agents, this is what ICE deals with every fucking day. They deal with these cunts. They deal with these people every fucking day. And then you got some dumb dickhead, like whatever that dick's name is, Alex Pretty, the one that was just shot. You got them getting in their way, hassling them, calling them Nazis, etc., etc., etc. And then that motherfucker brings a gun to a gunfight and loses. It's like, I'm not saying that it's impossible that there are bad agents out there who do bad things, but we have to speak in generalizations, and we can't sit here and try to pick apart the very rare situations where somebody does a bad thing. Those people should be investigated. Those people should be arrested. It just doesn't happen that often, so why even talk about it, right? It would be like literally talking about like the exception instead of the rule. The rule is the vast majority of these agents are doing their jobs. The vast majority of these agents are overworked, underpaid, patriotic Americans who are trying to make this country safer by getting rid of the worst of the worst. That's the way it works. And the left, the Democrats, they make the exception the talking point, right? Now, look, I don't feel fucking bad at all for that guy, Alex Pretty. I'm sorry, I don't. Because the left is running the Hamas playbook. They're throwing martyrs at this problem, right? Sorry, no. No, you don't get to do that. We're not gonna play your game. Like, this is how they controlled the narrative for the war in Gaza for 2 fucking years. You need to learn the patterns and understand the patterns and ignore the patterns, right? It's like, no, dumb cunt got shot because dumb cunt wanted to get shot for his ideology. He's basically a jihadist, that guy that got shot by ICE. I'm not joking. He's basically a jihadist. Am I calling him a terrorist? Yeah. Yeah, he was terrorizing agents for a political ideology. Definition of a terrorist. It's my opinion. I can have it. Go fuck yourself if you don't like it. All right, next up. U.S. to send ICE agents to Winter Olympics, prompting Italian anger. I'm Italian. I'm not angry. U.S. Immigration Agency, whose officers have been involved in a fatal shooting, has said it's sending its agents to help support American security operations during the Winter Olympics. Okay, why would anybody have a problem with that? Confirmation that a branch of Blah, blah, blah. This is the... what? This is the militia that kills. Of course, they're not welcome in Milan. Well, you don't get to fucking tell us what to do. Fuck you. This story's stupid. We're gonna move on. It's fucking woke Italian cunt. Doesn't want ICE there. I don't care. They'll probably just be different agents. I don't care. I don't care. Stupid. All right, New York Times sucks. We can't read it. Trump says Noam is doing a very good job and won't step down as Homeland Security Chief amid Minnesota shift. We'll get to this. Writing something down to remember later. Look, I don't know. Is Kristi Noem doing a good job? I think that she really likes the camera. I don't like how this administration has a few, not a lot, a few. It really is just a few people in it who really like the camera. Go do your fucking job. We have a gorgeous press secretary for the camera. That's her fucking job. Her fucking job is to get in front of the camera. Your fucking job is to do your fucking job. Why can't they figure this out? If Pam Bondi gets on fucking TV one more time and is like, we're going to arrest people, shut up. Do it. Your job is to arrest people. Your job is not to tell people we're going to arrest people. Caroline Leavitt's job is to say we're going to arrest people. Donald Trump's job is to say we're going to arrest people. Your job is to arrest people. Shouldn't even be allowed on Fox News. For fuck's sake. And Noam, same thing. They do this circuit. She seems like she's not serious when she's putting on fucking, 50 pounds. She looks like the chick from Death Becomes Her. And she goes out and just fucking talks. It's like, just go do your job. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. All right, we're gonna get. Actually, let's save this one for last because we'll move right into the story after. Okay, what is this? This is mother of all deals. India and the EU sign a free trade agreement. All right, good. Tariffs cut to zero for many industrial products, including iron, steel, plastic, chemicals, and pharmaceuticals. India and the EU has finalized a landmark free trade agreement. Okay, agreement comes after 2 decades of on and off negotiations between India and the EU. The deal is expected to open up India's vast and traditionally tightly guarded market to the 27 nations in the bloc. Okay. Agreement is expected to double EU exports to India, eliminating or cutting tariffs in 96.6% of traded goods. Well, I'm a free trade person, so I think that this sounds good. I don't know too much about it, but yeah, good for them. Okay, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Okay. No, fuck you. Ilhan Omar sprayed by unknown substance after man charges at her at Minneapolis Town Hall. Okay. Let's see. Here's the video.
As it's been said, real justice and accountability starts with full, transparent investigation and legal.
This is the guy right here.
ICE, followed by the abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Here it comes. Now her watch. Look at how she charges and puts her fist up. Okay, hold on. Here, this is fucking insane. Okay, right? She just got sprayed with something. And yeah, like she goes right in for a fucking right hook. I'm gonna call bullshit. All right, so let's go. Before the show, I usually will try to like post and repost things that I'm going to use for the show. So let's start here. Yeah, here we go. Let's start here. So watch Omar's face. So stupid. So stupid. She literally looks at him. Hold on. Slow it down. Looks at him. What was that? Right when he gets up. Now, is that irrefutable proof? No, it's not irrefutable proof. Okay, there is also this. What's his motive? This is the guy, Andy Casimir or something Casimir. Has I would say, something of a daughter. I don't know what they are anymore. I don't know if that's trans. I don't know. That's just something. Andy Kazmierzak has one of them. Let's see here. This is the daughter as well. Apprentice at leftism. Oh wait, I think that's yeah. Queer. Okay. You should go get your hair cut by there. Yeah, okay. And he also texted his neighbor, I might get arrested. Okay. Now, obviously, if he planned to do it, he would know. But if he was sort of bragging to friends about it, it's just a strange story all around. So, here's what I want to know. Okay, let's go check out this story. No, stop asking me shit. Okay. Sent a text to a neighbor that he might get arrested. Allegedly charged at the lefty congresswoman. Days before the chaotic town hall, asked if he could watch his dog when he went to see Omar speak and hinted at something might happen. Said, I'm going to this Omar thing. I'm like, Omar what? He said, the town hall thing. And he said, I might get arrested. I figured it was nonsense. He wasn't going to do anything stupid. I said, sure, I'll walk her. But then the next day, he said, don't worry about it. I've got it covered. I figured he blew that off. Yeah, that's not a conservative. He sprayed Omar. She chased him down before he was tackled. He was arrested by Minneapolis Police Department. He was booked for third-degree assault. Kelly said that his neighbor has been heavily medicated due to a car wreck that impacted his spine years ago. Okay. What is that? That's a yellowish substance in a syringe. Okay. The cash left him not physically able to do much. He's also been diagnosed with Parkinson's. Okay. So he needs money. Wonder if he got any money. Wonder if his bank account's going to see a little bump. He's only 55, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say much about stuff, but he'll send articles and posts about different things. I didn't take him seriously. This is the neighbor. I didn't take him seriously. I'm surprised, but not overly surprised. Figured when he said he was going to a town hall, he'd stand up and say something stupid. I can't imagine him assaulting or spraying anybody. Omar asked for a napkin after she was sprayed with the liquid, which people around her said smelled terrible. Okay. Maybe it was piss. Minneapolis forensic scientist responded to the process scene. I'm okay, Omar wrote about on X. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Oh my God. All right, we need to go break down this video. Let's find this video again. And we really need to watch her body language because it's fucking wild. All right. Oh. Oops. All right, Omar. What the fuck? Here, let's do that. There we go. Where is this video? Okay, here we go. Watch this. Okay. This right here is not how you react after being sprayed with anything, right? Watch this. Look at that. She's throwing up the right. She's like, yeah, I'm a 5'0" fucking Muslim, and I'm going to run up and punch this white guy in the head. It just doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, you'd be like, what the fuck was that? And then you'd let this big, all right, so this big guy right here, he's already coming at him. Ilhan Omar is running towards him just as fast. It just seems like it's staged. It seems like it's staged. Is it possible that this is legit? Sure, anything's possible, right? You see this nod right here, right? Looks right at him. Looks right at him, right here. This is where she looks at him. Nod, 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 right? He gets up, sprays, and she's like, what, bitch? What? No shock. Like zero shock from her at all that she got sprayed. Like she knew she was about to get sprayed. She just immediately runs in with the right hook. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. All right, now let's go look at her, I assume, pre-written response. I'm okay. I'm a survivor. To what? So this small agitator isn't going to intimidate me from doing my work. I don't let bullies win. Grateful to my incredible constituents who rallied behind me, etc., etc. Okay. So, I'm not a big fan of Benny Johnson, but Broken Clock. Let's see here. This is, I think this was yesterday. This is what dropped, I think it was yesterday, January 26th, 2 days ago. This dropped 2 days ago, okay? Let's check this out.
Financial disclosure from the Congressional Record, year 2023. I want to bring your attention to this company right down here, Est Crew LLC. This is a winery in Santa Rosa, California. It's not doing that well. The total value of the winery is listed at $15,000, and Ilhan Omar's barely making any money off of it at all. Hardly enough to pay a parking ticket. Okay, that's fine. Nothing really mysterious there. Businesses fail all the time. But go ahead and look at her filing for 2024, and you'll find that Est Crew Winery, the same company in the same location, is now worth $5 million. That's
wow.
Up from $15,000. And now Ilhan Omar's making enough to pay rent. So this must be one of the most successful companies ever. Let's go ahead and check in on this winery. You know, maybe we could buy some wine. I like wine. Why not? Let's see if we can buy some Est Crew Winery. Here's Est Crew's social media Facebook page. You'll see here that the last post, oh no, was in 2023.
Shocking.
Was this the year that they were supposed to, go really big and make Ilhan Omar millions of dollars? Same thing on their Instagram, and they don't have an X. So let's go ahead and check their official website. What is Est Crew? We are winemakers and memory curators, okay? Est Crew Winery has a bunch of brands that's led by these people, creators of eye-catching labels. So I'm sure I can go and get some of their wine, right? Well, they don't have any activities here.
It says buy wine. Go buy.
Go to
click that.
Their location.
Click that.
Buy some of their wines, or maybe give them a call. let's try and go to their location here. This is the Google Street View of Est Crew Winery, and what you'll find here is an empty parking lot. Doesn't actually look like an operational business. It certainly isn't the same name. So, okay, let's go ahead and give them a call. See if maybe they pick up. Let's go ahead and call the number on the webpage. Let's go ahead and give them a call and find out. Oh no, user busy. Let's try that. Okay.
This is strange.
Okay, so that didn't work. Is there any wine in this wine company? Is there anything about wine? Because I see like stuff about events, but like, what is this exactly? Aren't you supposed to sell wine at your wine company? Where are your wines? Oh, there are no wines.
Okay, why is he not hitting that fucking button?
Rick Ilhan Omar's husband accused of swindling investors.
Hold on, this is bothering me. Fucking Benny. It's like, it says it right here. It says buy wine. All right, what is this website? ZinfandelExperiences.com. Let's try it. ZinfandelExperiences.com. Site can't be reached. Okay, let's go Est Crew Wine. All right, is this it? Yeah, here we go. I must have spelt it wrong. Okay. Where is that? Where was he? Where the fuck were you, dude? Load more. I think it was E. No, not there. All right. Wineries, Est Crew Wines. All right, so let's go to wineries. Can't find it. Motherfucker, Benny. Why can't you just fucking...
Where are your wines? Oh, there are no wines. You wanna know why? Because this is a fake...
Okay. This is what bugs me about Benny Johnson. He does this whole fucking thing, and he doesn't... All right, let me go back and see what he did.
Go really big. Go really big and make Ilhan Omar millions of dollars. Same thing on their Instagram, and they don't have an X. So, what is Est? So, let's go ahead and check their official website. What is Est Crew? We are winemakers and memory curators. Okay, Est Crew Winery has a bunch of brands.
Okay. All right, let's try this again. Why can't I fucking... There we go. It says ZinfandelExperiences.com, but then when you click it, it's under a different name. Okay, Wineries. Est Crew. Page can't be found. Uh-oh. Looks like they might have deleted it. Okay. So maybe they deleted it. Maybe that is why I can't find it. But I really wish Benny Johnson was smart enough to hit that little fucking button while he was there. But apparently he wasn't. It could be completely irrelevant, but it does say right here. It says buy wine. So Benny Johnson is saying, I can't buy wine. And then he's dancing around the button that says you can buy wine. So I would have liked him to do that anyway. But yeah, either way, it's a little fucking strange. Somebody else in the chat beat me to it. But yeah, Muslims aren't supposed to drink either. And selling wine it's a little weird for a Muslim. She can temporarily blend in when in enemy territory and allow her to mislead. Yeah, taqiyya. All right. So, yeah. Essentially, Ilhan Omar, I think the reason why she is in this whole I was attacked by some liquid is because she needs to get some victim points. That's how the left thinks. The left thinks in victim points, distractions, and psyops. So if she was, let's say, about to be investigated for fraud or some type of fake company or whatever, it would be good to get ahead of it in the media, like, oh, look at, they're attacking this woman. She was just attacked, blah, 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 blah. So we'll see how that works out. But methinks that Ilhan Omar is fucked because it's going to be just like that guy who had the gold bars in his fucking coat. I can't remember his name. But the congressman that went to jail for fraud recently. There's a new sheriff in town. Trump is going to go after these people. And it's not like he's going to go after them the way that they went after him, where they just make shit up and try to pin crimes on somebody that didn't do anything. No, Trump actually has actual crimes that they've committed, and it'll be very easy to go after these people. Let's also not forget, Ilhan Omar fucked and married her brother. Let's see what Matt Walsh has to say. He is hit or miss. I don't know if the All right, I don't know if the Ilhan Omar thing was staged or not. There's certainly plenty of reason to be suspicious. We know that leftists do these kind of hoaxes all the time, and Somalis are notorious scam artists. We'll see. Just like Gretchen Whitmer getting fucking kidnapped. She set that up for herself. What I do know is leftist agitators are out in the streets every day accosting law enforcement officers, and nobody on the left condemns it. Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck and they celebrated. Now Ilhan Omar gets sprayed with liquid and we're supposed to treat it like a national tragedy. Ilhan is going around calling herself a survivor. Democrats are issuing dramatic denunciations. It's all fake. Even if it wasn't staged, it's still fake. Matt Walsh nails it here. This is pretty much what I just said. So that is a hit for Matt Walsh. Okay, now we also want to go and look up Cam. I wrote that down. Cam Higbee is doing amazing work with this whole signal chat for these leftist. I don't call them protesters. I mean, I don't know what they call them. Insurrectionists, call them fucking terrorists. They're not protesters. They're not protesting. This is a huge list of people that are in this signal chat that he infiltrated. Let's find out another thing. Not this one. Not this one. Yeah. And by the way, that guy Alex Preddy was also in the signal chat. Allegedly. We'll show you that in a minute. Here we go. This one. So, you guys tell me what you think. That guy, Alex Preddy, tell me if you think this is him. Okay? This is Alvin Q. All right? This is very important. Remember this. Alvin Q. Okay? Alvin Q. I'm at the Friendship Coop. I'm moving west on 38 to spot. Will update. Okay? This is an email address for Alex Preddy. Profile URL, twitter.com, Alvin Q. Preddy. Remember that name? Alvin Q. Right here, Alvin Q. Preddy. I'd say that's probably him. That's probably him.
Yep.
Especially when he's talking about being at the location that he was at. So what this tells us is that Alex Preddy was there to interrupt federal investigations. Now, it's important to remember that when Alex was shot, he was not shot at a protest. The protesters showed up after. Alex was there in the middle of the street, fucking with ICE agents, trying to stop them from arresting an illegal alien, right? So he was an agitator who was interfering in an investigation. He had apparently broken his ribs in an altercation like a week earlier when he did the same exact thing. He's in these signal chats coordinating with other people, and basically he just kept fucking around until he found out. You know, and look, this is another thing. I want to show you this post I made. I think it's closer to yesterday. Okay. Well, either way, I basically wrote, I don't hate him. I don't hate Alex Preddy. I don't hate any of these people. I pity them, right? I have nothing but pity for these people like Renee Good and Alex Preddy, who have gotten indoctrinated to the point where they're basically jihadists, right? It's the same way I feel about the innocent Palestinians, okay? They're not really innocent. But there are many Palestinians who support Hamas because they truly believe that the Jews are evil, right? They hate Jews. They don't even know why they hate Jews. They were just indoctrinated and they were raised to hate Jews, right? And when they reach a certain point, okay, like let's say they're young kids, we give them a little leeway. Let's say they're, adolescents, we give them a little leeway. Once they become adults, I'm sorry, you've gone from indoctrinated child to terrorist, right? It's like you're like a fucking caterpillar blossoming into a butterfly, like a little terrorist butterfly. And the reason why I don't feel any sympathy for Alex Preddy, Renee Good, or any other one of these people that are doing this is because they're adults. They're adults that have learned enough about life where you make decisions. And everybody, by the way, we all have these. We all have cell phones, right? Every single person has a zero excuse to be ignorant in 2026, right? If you're a fucking moron who thinks that you're allowed to strap a 9mm to your belt, go in and start pushing around ICE officers and not get shot, sorry, that's Darwin. You're just dead. And don't expect me to feel bad for you. Sorry, I'm not going to. I wouldn't feel bad if you jumped into a fucking pool of piranha and got eaten up. Wouldn't feel bad at all. Even if somebody told you that they were a goldfish, it wouldn't matter to me. You have a phone. You can find out if all the shit that you've been fed is bullshit. There's nobody's, it's nobody's fault but yours. You're the problem once you become an adult. Alex Preddy wasn't a 13-year-old kid. He wasn't a 14-year-old kid, a 15-year-old kid, 16, 17, or 18. He was in his 30s. He was bald. He had male pattern baldness. The fuck out of here with that shit. One of my favorite people, a family member of mine, he's a woke leftist. He's retarded. He has a very successful job. He's a very smart person. He's also retarded. Right? We argue all the time about this stuff, and I'm like, you are stupid. For somebody that went through all that school, he's a nice person too. Like like I said, one of my favorite people. If you don't talk about politics at all, it's like it's like, I love him. I love him even if we don't agree on politics. But he jumped out right away. Jumped up right away. That was a murder. Those ICE agents murdered him. And I was like, really? I'm like, really, dude? I'm like, you know the law. I know you know the law because I know what your job is. You need to take a step back. All right. I want to get to Massie before I have to get out of here, but really quick, I want to get to this Nick Sorter thing because somebody in the chat was like, well, I don't know about Sorter. Here's the problem with Sorter. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to go for a while. All right, give me a few seconds. I'm going to keep just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I want to get past this recent story where everybody thinks he's a hero, and I want to try to find some of his older content. And motherfucker's posting probably 50 times a day, so this is going to take about 2 minutes to do. I would say I have to get a couple weeks back. So what's today? The 28th? January 13th. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. Let's go. Let's go a little further. Okay. I think that's good enough. All right. Breaking. Black Hawks spotted overhead near Minneapolis as National Guard prepares for deployment. Things are getting very tense out here. That's from January 7th. Did Black Hawks, did National Guard get deployed in the past 20 days? No. Black Hawks were probably, I don't know if I even know if that's a Black Hawk, right? This is what I don't like about Nick Sorter, right? There is no actual, look, and I literally just stopped at this one, so this isn't something that I knew I was going to like grab. This is how easy it is to grab his bullshit. This is where I literally just flung the fucking scroller, stopped at a story, and it's Nick embellishing. Okay? There's no verification that there were going to be National Guards deployed. There's no evidence that this helicopter flying around Minnesota is an indication that National Guard is going to be deployed, and National Guard was not deployed. All right. Let's try another one. Okay. I went to Minnesota and apologized. I went into Minnesota Hilton, who apologized for banning DHS agents and exposed them. Hilton has decided they want the full Bud Light treatment at this point, right? I don't know. But anyway, all right. So now that we've gotten to a couple, just like the vibe of Nick Sorter, right? If you go back here, let's go to the top of his page. He has. I'm pleased to confirm the expert. Okay, yeah. So he was apparently he was the one that filmed that Latin Kings guy. He's the one. Hold on. That said that Greg Bavino was getting fired. I'm trying to find that story. Jesus, it is really hard when people put. Here we go. All right. So Nick Sorter says that he has two unnamed sources saying Greg Bavino was being relieved of command and going back to California and blah, blah, blah. And it was bullshit, right? He tried to backpedal and say, I never said that he was being fired. I only said it was bullshit, right? It was bullshit. This is the problem with wanting to be first versus wanting to be right. And he's basically now trying to cover his ass, saying, following our report, President Trump, following our report. So he's responsible for the moves that President Trump makes. President Trump has personally stepped in and saved Greg Bovino's role as commander at large. Greg Bovino's role as commander at large was never in trouble. You lied. He was never going to be removed as commander at large. So Nick Sorter either intentionally or unintentionally shared a false report. And instead of coming out and saying, hey guys, I got this wrong, he's now saying that because of what he did, Donald Trump came in and undid something that never fucking happened. Okay, that's the problem with Nick Sorter. My sources tell me, the same sources that told you that Greg Bovino was being, my sources tell me Kristi Noem fully backs this decision. Are these the same sources that say that Greg Bovino was being removed as commander at large? This is so look, I'm neutral on Nick Sorter. He gets some things, he does some things well, but a lot of the shit that he posts, it's rage bait, clickbait, first fucking sensationalism, and I don't like that. I think that if you're going to look for an investigative journalist to follow, this is your guy. Right? Cam Higbee really truly is one of the few honest independent journalists that actually is trying to do the hard work, and he makes sure that what he's saying is true. He has, made some, I would say, friendships with some people that I'm not a big fan of, but I don't hold that against people. I don't do guilt by association. So yeah, follow Cam Higbee if you're looking for an actual independent journalist. The vast majority of independent journalists out there, they're full of shit. It's hard. It's hard to like figure out what the news is when you have the mainstream media lying to you intentionally, and then you have the new media lying to you intentionally, and then you gotta like sift through the shit. But anyway, okay, so let's wrap this up with some Massie, because we got the woke left covered. Ilhan Omar, she's covered. All right. If you guys didn't see the video I made, I'm gonna drop this. Massie is a Democrat. By the way, Massie is a Democrat. Pass it on. That's the move. That's what you do. Massie is a Democrat is the way you do this. Okay? I'm starting it. I'm staking my claim on it. Pass it on. Okay.
Democrat.
Okay. So,
can we please stop pretending like he is the most conservative member of Congress? He's not. He's a fucking Democrat, right? He ranks third among voting against his party. He votes with Democrats more than every other person in the House on the GOP except for two. Henry Cuellar and Marie Gluffa. Who gives a shit what her name is? Now, I'm going to continue making my case, but this is enough. But just in case that didn't do it for you, right? He just posted this where he's like, oh, this map has a swamp scared. These are all the Massie donors, right? Anyone notice anything in this map? Maybe any pockets that are a little bit concerning? I don't know, like the fact that they aren't in fucking Kentucky. They're heavily in the Northeast and the West Coast. Like, I don't know, where all the fucking Democrats are. There's even a community note fact-checking that up to 90% of Massie supporters are Democrats who don't live in Kentucky. And then And then the community notes like, no evidence support. It shows 88% of donations are out of state. That's enough. I get it. It's not exactly 90% of Democrats.
All right. So, like, do you guys understand that reps, right? Like, representatives, that not governors, not mayors. I mean, this does apply to mayors too, but reps are the only people that matter are the ones in their district. Like, Thomas Massie's job is for Kentucky's 4th district. That's his whole job, right? But Massie's support, 88% of it is outside of Kentucky. Not even Kentucky's 4th district, the whole fucking state. So when Massie is essentially like, he's campaigning as like a president, like a representative of all of the people, right? Or maybe a representative of libertarians, or a representative of, like, you know, people who agree with him. That's not his job. His job is representing the people of Kentucky's 4th district. That's representative government. And it seems like he doesn't understand that, because he's in a 90% Trump district. But his support in that district is like 40-something%.
But up to 88% of Thomas Massie's support is not in Kentucky. What is Thomas Massie's main message? Literally everything that against Trump. Like, he's just an anti-Trumper. Who else is anti-Trump? Democrats. And it gets worse. According to Thomas Massie, if you take any donations from AIPAC, you are controlled by Israel. Here's his fucking pack.
That's the Democratic Socialists of America. So by Thomas Massie's logic, if you take money from AIPAC, you're controlled by Israel, which means that he's controlled by Democratic Socialists, the Democratic Socialists of America, who fund ICE and who are responsible for these signal chats that Cam Higby's uncovering. So if Massie's controlled by them...
The Democratic Socialists of America. You know what they did? They funded Black Lives Matter. They're funding the ICE protesters right now. They're literally fighting ICE. They are the people who are responsible for all of these fucking people who are running around in Minnesota right now. Last week, the House voted to fund ICE. And guess who was the only fucking no?
So, again, right? Let's say you go with Thomas Massie's logic, okay? If you receive donations from AIPAC, then you're controlled by Israel. He receives donations from Democratic Socialists of America, and he voted against funding ICE. Now, he'll say, and his supporters will say, oh, that's because there was so much pork in that. Well, that's the excuse for every fucking bill. Like, Thomas Massie is a protest vote on every bill because he finds something he doesn't like in the bill. There's no concession. There's no actually working with Congress or representing the people of Kentucky's 4th district who want him to pass that bill, right? Like, the people in his district would probably say, yeah, vote yes on that bill. And he goes, no, Thomas Massie, King Massie, I have found something in this bill that I don't like, right? So I'm going to vote no. And they're like, no, do your job. And he goes, fuck you, right?
Massie. So if you have any evidence that Thomas Massie is not a fucking Democrat, other than some retarded talking point like, he votes no at a protest, shut the fuck up, all right? He has been in Congress 13 fucking years, and he has passed one bill. His favorability rating in his own fucking district is 43 to 54%.
That's really low. That's really low. And here's Donald Trump's favorability, about 90%. So Trump has double the favorability rating in Thomas Massie's district, which means that the people in Thomas Massie's district are MAGA. He's an anti-MAGA politician in a MAGA district whose support is 90% outside of his state. Massey's a Democrat. That's all. That's how you get there, right? He's funded by the Democratic Socialists of America. His favorability rating is less than half in a heavily Trump district, and he's always voting against Trump. This is common sense. This doesn't have to be complicated. He's a Democrat. We need to get rid of him.
Trump's.
He's the number one seat in the primary that needs to be removed. Guaranteed. Like there's no other important seat in the House GOP other than Thomas Massie. Right? Like Henry Cuellar and that other bitch, who cares? Everybody knows that they're Democrat. They know that they're rhinos. Thomas Massie has pulled a very clever ruse over the American public by ignoring Kentucky's 4th district and focusing solely on Twitter followers, right? And general electorate. He's running as a presidential candidate who's representing the country when it's not his job. His job is to represent the people of Kentucky's 4th district, 80 to 90% who voted for Trump, and he's not doing that. He's constantly voting against Trump, against his district. He's a Democrat, right? And I would say the vast majority of Democrats are woke. Thomas Massie is voting against ICE. So is Thomas Massie woke? I'd say yeah. I'd say we can put him in that category, which is why this is Woke Wednesday, and Massie has earned the title of woke right. He's also, anti-Israel, which is the main character trait of woke right. So let's see here. Anthony, I don't know his last name, was arrested last night for attacking Ilhan Omar. He was once married to Patrice Kezmuz, divorced a few years ago. His ex-wife is a political activist and big supporter of Ilhan Omar and AOC. It's so weird. Wow, that looks like the chick from, I can't remember what she was in. Ray Donovan, yeah, the wife, the cuckold wife. If you guys haven't seen that show, you should. Yeah, so there's a lot of connections to this guy and the left. So I wouldn't be shocked if they have an investigation and they find out that this guy was actually just paid to attack Ilhan Omar. Oh, look, they're already starting this. Trump supporter. Okay. He follows multiple pro-Trump accounts. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and put this guy's name in a... Oh, shit. Why can't I fucking copy that? I wonder if he follows leftist accounts. Oh, he follows Candace Owens, so he's clearly fucked in the head. He follows Hodge twins. Yeah, that tracks. All right, boys and girls. I think that we are going to wrap it up there. I'm going to try to get here tomorrow for Hate Mail Thursday. It's just been real busy. Demo's always a bitch. I'm getting old, but got to get it done. And if I'm not here tomorrow, I'll be here Friday. But I think we'll be here tomorrow. So stay tuned. Let's do the shout outs. We got Celestial Heart, Film What Matters, Roadrunner 513, Tommy Girl 7169, 69, nice. TPH 14, 7 Legion Studios, and I think that's everybody. All right, like I said at the beginning of the show, the daily breakdown is just going to be called The Breakdown because I just can't make it here daily anymore with work picking up. But I am going to try to hit Tuesday through Friday. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it every week. So